For hundreds of years, the galaxy had been quiet, peaceful. Civilizations traded, grew, and explored. Wars became stories. Enemies became friends, and some names were forgotten. One of those names was human. No one remembered Earth anymore. It was marked on ancient star maps as uninhabited. Some believed it was destroyed, others thought it was lost. Most just didn't care. Humans were a myth, a dead race from a violent past. But something had changed. A small mining ship from the Trelvian Empire, called Gravemark, was working near the old solar borders. Its crew scanned asteroid belts and empty planets. It was a boring job. Then the ship's sensors picked up a strange signal, faint, old. Repeating, "Captain, we have something." "Weird," said Yarrick, the ship's lead technician. "What kind of weird?" the captain asked, sipping from his flask. "It's a beacon, but the codites," in Terran standard. The room fell silent. Terran. That's human language, right? Asked one crew member. "Yes," said Yarrick, "but this code hasn't been used for 500 years. It's military. High-level encryption. We can't crack it." The captain laughed. "A ghost signal. Ignore it. Humans are dead." Planet was poisoned, but Yarrick couldn't stop thinking about it. Late at night, while the others slept, he boosted the signal and tried to decode it. After hours of work, something opened. The screen flashed. A voice spoke. Not loud, but sharp. "Clear, cold, return. What you stole." Then the screen went black. The lights on the ship flickered, and everything went silent. The next morning, the ship didn't respond to calls. The Trelvian Empire sent a scout ship to investigate. It found Gravemark drifting. No life signs, no damage. All systems dead. Only one thing remained, that same message burned into the control panel. "Return what you stole." Admiral Vorik of the Trelvian Empire sat in a dark war room watching the report. Around him were generals and scientists whispering. "It could be pirates," one said. "Or a trick." "No," said Vorik. "This isn't pirate work. This is something else." He stood and walked to a locked cabinet. Inside was an old data tablet, dusty and sealed. He hadn't touched it in decades. With shaking hands, he opened it. A file appeared. Title: Human Threat Level. Do not engage. He pressed play. The screen showed Earth ships from centuries ago. Black, fast, silent. They didn't use energy blasts like other races. They used gravity weapons, hacking drones, AI-guided missiles, and they fought like demons. Not to win. To destroy. Vorik turned to the others. Long ago, the Council made a choice. They erased human history. They told us Earth was gone, but they lied. "But sir," a general asked, "even if they survived, why now? Why return?" Vorik stared into the darkness. "Because we took something. Something that belonged to them." "What did we take?" He didn't answer. He couldn't. Even he didn't know. But the humans did. Across the galaxy, rumors began to spread. A signal had been heard. A ship had vanished. And the humans were back. Some laughed. Humans. That's just a tale. Others worried. What if it's true? Still, most ignored it. But in the black markets, hidden from the eyes of empires, old traders whispered the same thing. The Terrans never died. They just waited. What? It lit up in her hands and spoke in a soft voice. "Hello? Terran protocol active?" Memory rebooting. The girl ran to her mother, scared. The cube kept speaking. "Time since last contact. 479 years. Enemies detected. Defense mode ready." Her mother stared in horror. She had seen pictures of this technology, human technology. It was never supposed to work again. Far away on a silent Earth, buried under broken cities and thick forests, machines began to wake up. Old satellites turned in the sky. Lights came on in deep bunkers. Robotic eyes opened. The world did not speak. It did not shout it simply. Remembered. And in the heart of a massive underground facility, a single figure stood tall, armored, human. He looked at the blinking red map of the stars. He saw the Trelvian fleet, saw the Empire's spies. He smiled. So he said, voice deep and calm, they forgot us. He turned to the machine beside him. Let's remind them. 2 weeks after the grave mark went silent, more signals began to spread across the stars, quiet, hidden, but felt, in the deep void near the old edge of human space. Abandoned satellites dead for centuries suddenly came alive. One by one. They turned and pointed toward the galaxy, began transmitting. The messages were strange, short but filled with old Terran code. They are coming. The black sun rises. Sol protocol reactivated. Most people ignored the warnings. Space was full of junk and forgotten tech. But not everyone laughed. A young alien reporter named Zira from the Zynax species worked for a small media ship. She always searched for strange news stories others missed. When she heard about the human signal, she became curious. She traveled to the edge of the Sol system in a rented shuttle, hoping to find proof. Her ship's computer picked up something strange. The same signals playing in a loop, but only in old human language. Zira asked her AI to translate the messages. The AI paused, then answered, I cannot. The language is marked restricted. Who? She asked. The AI paused again. By the Galactic Council, it'll read, forbidden data. Now she was scared. Zira returned to the central archive on Gorsha Prime. It took days, but she found a hidden history file. Locked, dangerous. But she had stolen codes before. She cracked it open. The file was a warning, an old one. Over 500 years. Old, it described the final war between the humans and the Zarn Dominion. The Zarn had ruled a third of the galaxy, but within 2 months of declaring war on Earth, they vanished, not lost. Not defeated. Erased, every ship, every planet gone. The file showed images of human ships that didn't match anything she'd ever seen. Ships that bent space, flew without engines. Weapons that turned stars cold. One line in the file chilled her blood. Terran rage is not a battle, it is extinction. She knew she had to warn someone. She sent a report to 5 major galactic news stations. None of them replied, but 2 days later, her ship was followed. Someone tried to hack her systems. And then, one night, her friend on the spaceport vanished. Zira was no longer just a reporter. She was a threat, and the Empire didn't like threats. Meanwhile, the Trelvian Empire sent a second scout fleet to the Sol system, stronger, faster, and ready for war. They believed the first signal was just a trap. They thought they could scare whatever was hiding on Earth. The fleet sent a warning shot toward Mars. Nothing happened. Then they moved closer to Earth's orbit. Suddenly, the stars changed. Dark shapes appeared above the fleet. Ships, black, silent, no lights, no energy readings. The Trelvians tried to scan them. Nothing worked. Then the black ships moved. In less than 40 seconds, the entire fleet vanished. No explosions, no debris. Just silence. Only one ship barely escaped. Its captain sent a final message before his ship disappeared too. They are not dead. They are watching. Panic spread inside the Empire. Admiral Vorik was summoned again. He stood before the High Council. We thought the Terrans were gone. The Emperor said. You told us they were no threat. Vorik replied calmly. I told you they were silent, not dead. But they've said nothing. They don't speak first, Vorik said. They never did. The council fell into argument. Some wanted peace. Others wanted war. But one old counselor whispered to himself, we should have burned Earth when we had the chance. Back in a far part of the galaxy, an old smuggler ship drifted through the black. The pilot, a retired soldier named Coral, picked up something strange, a small drone floating in space, brought it aboard, curious. When he touched it, the drone lit up and played a voice. Awakening complete. Target confirmed. Phase 2 ready. Then it flew out of his hand and vanished. Coral stared in silence. He had fought in the old days. He remembered the Terrans, remembered their fury. They're back, he said to no one, and we are not ready. On Earth, deep under old ruins, the Terran command center was fully awake now. Its eye systems linked across ancient networks. In a huge room filled with armor, weapons, and ships. The first full Terran unit stepped forward. Their leader looked at the galaxy map. They forgot us, he said. They will remember. The Trelvian Empire had ruled their part of the galaxy for hundreds of years. They had the largest fleet, the strongest weapons, and the most loyal soldiers. They did not believe in ghosts. They did not fear myths. So when 3 scout fleets disappeared, near Earth, the Empire decided to act. This is not magic, said Lord Admiral Kron. This is just an old race playing games. They forgot their place. Now we will remind them. The Emperor agreed. Send the Red Fang Armada. Show the galaxy what happens when someone dares to frighten us. The Red Fang Armada was powerful, over 200 warships, 10 dreadnoughts, and thousands of soldiers. Each ship had plasma cannons, shield barriers, and AI targeting systems. It was designed to crush entire star systems. The fleet jumped into the edge of the Sol system. The sun glowed in the distance, warm and silent. Earth was still. No movement. No defense fleets. No signals. Admiral Kron smiled. They are bluffing, he said. He ordered the first shot. A plasma blast hit the orbit of Mars, shaking the surface. Dust clouds rose. Satellites broke. But there was no response. Then Kron gave the next command. Approach Earth. The Red Fang Armada moved closer. Suddenly the fleet's sensors went dark. No radar. No energy readings. All systems showed nothing. System glitch? A captain asked. No, said Kron. Something is here. Find it. One ship the Vorn sent, a recon drone forward. The drone moved silently toward Earth's upper orbit. Then it stopped. It hovered in place. Frozen, the feed went black, before anyone could react. The drone reappeared, but inside the Vornt's bridge. Sliced into pieces, Kron stood, wide-eyed. This is impossible, he whispered. Then it began. Dark ships appeared from nowhere. No engine sounds, no warnings. Just black shadows cutting through space like knives. Terran warships. But these were not normal ships. They were shaped like arrows, covered in strange dark armor. They didn't shoot plasma or laser. They launched silence. One Red Fang ship vanished. In a flash of bent light, another twisted into itself, crushed by unseen pressure. One dreadnought tried to escape, but turned to dust in seconds. Panic filled the comms, shields failing. We can't lock targets. We're being jammed. Where are they? Kron watched as his mighty fleet was erased in minutes. No chance to fight, no warning, just death. He screamed into the mic, retreat. All ships readers static, Kron's own ship cracked in two, slowly pulled into black space by an invisible force. No explosions, it's just silence. Above Earth, everything became calm again. No Terran ship chased the survivors. No message followed. Only one escape pod made it back to Trelvian space. Inside was a single officer, shaking, broken. He was brought before the Emperor, who asked just one question. What happened? The officer looked up, eyes full of fear. They didn't fight us, he whispered. They erased us. That was the day the fear began to spread. In the outer worlds, traders and workers spoke in whispers. The humans are awake. They didn't die, they waited. The Empire made a mistake. On the wealthy planet of Elmara, news screens showed old war images. People laughed nervously. Those are old myths, they said. They can't be real. But the galaxy had already changed. On hidden channels, Terran signals spread further. Messages with no origin. Warnings with no source. You fired first. This was your choice. Now you will remember. Inside the Galactic Council, many leaders began to panic. Some wanted to beg Earth for peace. Others still believed they could win. "We are millions," one shouted. "They are few." But someone answered, "They don't need millions. They just need to wake up." Back on Earth, in the deep underground command vault, the Terran commander stood before a giant display. It showed the broken Red Fang Armada. It showed the Empire in shock. He nodded slowly. "They tested us," he said. "Now we test them." Sighed. Him, an old AI called Ghost 7, flickered to life. "Phase 2 ready," it said. "All systems aligned. Shall we proceed?" The commander turned to his soldiers, tall, armored, faces calm and focused. "We waited," he said. "We warned them. They chose this." He raised one hand. "Now let them see what a Terran war really looks like." And with a silent command, the machines of Earth began to rise. The galaxy was no longer quiet. The Red Fang Armada had vanished near Earth. Only one broken survivor returned. The Trelvian Empire tried to hide the news, but the story leaked. Once it did, it spread like fire. Across star systems, people began asking the same question. Who are the humans? They searched the networks, they searched the archives, but nothing came up. Just one word flashed on old screens: restricted. That made things worse. In the deep center of the galaxy, there was one place where the truth still lived: the Galactic Core Archive. A massive data vault hidden beneath the surface of a dead moon, guarded by the oldest A is in existence. Only the High Council could access it. Even they were afraid to open certain files, but one person didn't care about the rules. Her name was Rekka, a brilliant alien hacker from the underground markets of Ferris 9. She had stolen codes from warlords, hacked prison satellites, and broken into AI temples. When she heard about the Terran signals and the vanishing fleets, she became obsessed. "I want to know what they hid," she said. "What they feared so much they had to erase it." She traveled alone to the dead moon, avoided scanners, disabled bots, and reached the outer layer of the core archive. The security systems warned her. "Access forbidden," level read. "Violation will result in memory deletion." But Rekka smiled. "I've died before," she whispered, and entered the code. The vault opened. Dust fell from ancient servers. Blue lights blinked after hundreds of silent years. And then the files appeared, thousands of them, all marked. "Terran history do not release." She opened the first file, a black screen. Then words appeared. "Terran rage is not a phase. It is a design. It is what they become when pushed." Humans were not the most powerful species. They were not the smartest or fastest, but they were the most unpredictable, the most dangerous. They didn't just make weapons. They made plagues that targeted machines. They made AI gods that learned faster than time. They made gravity weapons that could pull moons apart. One file showed how Earth, in its final war, fought against the Zarn Dominion and Empire that controlled 500 worlds. The war lasted 5 days. After that, nothing remained of the Zarn. Not their fleets, not their cities, not even their planets. Erased, the file said, as if they never existed. Rekka trembled. She had hacked criminal lords, seen secret wars, stolen death codes. But this was something else. The deeper she went, the worse it got. There were files of human sleeper agents hidden across the galaxy, genetically changed to look like other races, placed in powerful positions, waiting for a signal. There were human-designed satellites disguised as asteroids, still floating, still watching, and there was a phrase repeated in every file: "Do not wake the Terrans. Do not provoke them. Do not remind them who they are." Rekka knew she had to leave. She copied the files onto a stolen data crystal and ran. As she escaped, The security system finally activated, but it was too late. The truth was already out. She uploaded the files to the hidden networks of the Outer Belt. Within hours, millions had seen them. The galaxy changed overnight. Riots broke out. People demanded answers. Young races felt betrayed. Governments that once laughed at Earth now held emergency meetings. The Council tried to shut down the signals, but it was useless. The files were everywhere. People now feared Earth, but some also admired it. And a few wanted revenge, a secret group known only. As the Scorchers decided to act, they blamed the Council for hiding the truth. They wanted to strike Earth before it got stronger, but they were too late. Earth was already moving back on Earth. The Terran commander stood in a dark room filled with monitors. Around him were strange machines, glowing in blue and red dot, Ghost-7. The AI reported, "Archive breach detected. Phase 3 unlocked. Galactic awareness confirmed." Commander nodded. Let them learn. Let them remember. On a nearby moon, a massive Terran station, once hidden under ice, rose from the ground. Giant weapons aimed at the stars. On Titan, armored figures stepped from cryosleep, their eyes glowing softly in the dark. Across the galaxy, small black boxes hidden on alien planets suddenly blinked and spoke. Terran protocol active. Judgment. Countdown begins. And at the center of the council, in a secret chamber no one had entered in 400 years, an old AI came online. Its voice was dry. Cold. You woke them. Now suffer them. The galaxy trembled. The files Rekka released had gone viral. Everyone knew now. Earth was not dead. Humans were not extinct. They were hidden, waiting, and dangerous. And now they were awake. Many hoped the Terrans would still stay silent. Maybe Earth didn't want war, but that hope didn't last. 3 days after the truth spread, the attacks began. They were not like normal wars. There were no warnings, no demands, no grand battles. The strikes were sudden and perfect. Silent systems failed. Defenses didn't even activate. When the lights came back on, cities were gone. On Keller Prime, a planet famous for its rich weapons trade, the skies turned red at night. People looked up and saw nothing, only stars. Then the ground exploded. Every factory, every weapon lab, gone. No survivors. On Veltra 9, the black markets where Terran tech was secretly sold were wiped out. Traders who handled stolen human relics were found with their minds burned out. Some were still standing, completely frozen. Their last expressions were horror. In the Empire's outer colonies, entire space stations vanished. Just disappeared. Ships that tried to investigate returned with melted sensors, empty fuel tanks, and crews who could no longer speak. One message was found scratched into a broken wall. This was a warning. The Empire panicked. Their enemies, once afraid, now saw weakness. Pirate lords, old rebels, and outlaw systems began to move. But even they were careful, because everyone now feared one thing more than the Empire: Terran retaliation. A young warlord, named Jelkar, once loyal to the Trelvian Empire, stood in a meeting with his commanders. "We must fight Earth now," he said, "before they become too strong." One of his lieutenants replied, "They're already too strong. They're using weapons we don't even understand." Another added, "They erased the Zarn in days. What do you think they'll do to us, Jelkar?" Hit the table. "Then we don't fight alone. Unite all forces, pirates, rebels, empires. Together, we destroy Earth." But even as he spoke, one of his ships exploded outside his base. No warning. No alarm, just gone. A voice rang through the base's speakers. "You speak too loudly." That was the last anyone heard of Jelka. At the same time, strange things began happening on peaceful worlds. Children found glowing cubes in the sand. When touched, the cubes said, "Terran link activated." Ancient statues on museum worlds cracked open to reveal black machines. Some activated. Some flew away. People started seeing mysterious individuals, humanoids, with perfect memory, strange, strength, and glowing tattoos. They didn't speak often, but when they did, Their words were strange. I was born on Sol. My orders were to wait. It is time now. They were sleeper agents, Terran-born, genetically hidden. Planted long ago, now activated, in a hidden corner of the galaxy. A group calling themselves the Children of Sol revealed themselves. They were descendants of the first Terran outposts, forgotten by history. Living among alien races, they had kept Terran knowledge alive. Now, they were sending messages. We are not alone. Earth remembers us. We return as one. Some tried to kill them. Some tried to join them. But no one could stop them. Meanwhile, the Galactic Council was falling apart. Each empire blamed the other. You provoked them. You lied about their death. You hid the files. In the middle of this chaos, a deep space message reached the Council. It was not encrypted. It's not hidden. Just simple and terrifying. A male voice spoke. You stole from us. You buried our name. Now remember, it. Then a countdown appeared on every screen. 7 days. No one knew what would happen after that. But across the stars, ships began to move. Giant machines rolled across Earth's surface. Darn armor units were waking up. Orbiting satellites unfolded wings of fire. Moons started glowing from the inside. The humans had not declared war. They didn't need to. Their actions spoke clearly. You touched what was ours. You pushed too far. Now we push back. In a small outpost near the edge of the galaxy, a lonely scout ship picked up a strange echo. It was faint, broken by distance. The captain listened carefully. It was music. Old Earth music. A soft piano, and under the music, a whisper. This is mercy. The captain turned to her crew. We have to leave now. The galaxy held its breath. The countdown from Earth was now halfway finished. 3 days remaining. Everyone watched. Screen, every device, every channel showed the same numbers. No one could turn it off. Even the Council's own systems were locked. People didn't sleep. Empires paused their wars. Pirates stopped their raids. The stars felt colder then. Without warning, the silence broke. A voice came through the darkness. Calm, deep, human. You forgot us. You erased us. You lied to your children. Now listen. Every screen showed a single symbol, a burning sun with a circle around it. The old flag of Earth, the voice continued. We are not conquerors. We are not monsters. We are the ones you feared, then tried to forget. We gave you peace, you answered. With betrayal, on the council world of Kellinor, leaders stared in fear. This was no ghost. This was real. The voice spoke again. You took from us. You broke the seal. You fired first. Now we speak. Across the galaxy, ancient Terran satellites woke up and began transmitting new orders. Hidden bases on moons, in oceans, under the crusts of planets unfolded like metal flowers, and in the skies above Earth, the Terran fleet revealed itself. The ships were black, silent, and massive, not like normal warships. They didn't shine. They didn't hum. They floated like shadows, each one powered by strange energy fields. No heat, no signatures, just death waiting. The countdown dropped to 2 days. In panic, the Trelvian Empire sent a peace request. It read, We surrender. We wish to speak. Please stop. Earth did not reply. Instead, a second message followed. You had time to speak. You used it to laugh. On Veltra 7, a city known for selling Terran relics was reduced to glass. No sound, no warning. A single Terran probe hovered above the ruins, blinking a soft red. Then, it vanished in the galaxy's central library on Vernax. Researchers found a file suddenly added to their most protected database. They never saw it before. They didn't know how it got there. The file was titled, What You Forgot. Nice. Inside were images of Earth's wars, of Terran machines, of that ran entire fleets alone. It's a single sentence repeated in every language. We are not vengeful. We are efficient. Back on Earth, in a vast underground chamber deep beneath the old city of Tokyo, the Terran commander stood with his generals. Behind him, Giant screens showed the galaxy. We gave them chances, he said. We waited, we warned. Now, must learn, Go 7. The ancient AI hovered nearby. Shall I begin the final transmission? It asked. The commander nodded. Go 7's lights turned red. Then it spoke across the stars in every known language. Phase 4 activated. Final judgment begins in 48 hours. So the message hit like a hammer. On mining colonies, people dropped their tools and prayed. On space stations, civilians tried to flee. On military worlds, soldiers refused to follow orders. Even powerful warlords fell silent. One rebel leader, who once said Earth was just a myth, now hid in a bunker and whispered, "We made them angry." But something unexpected also began to happen. Some races, small, forgotten, broken by empires, started sending messages to Earth. Not threats. Not fear. Respect. A small planet called Meru, destroyed long ago by the Trelvians, sent this message. We never forgot you. We teach our children about Earth. If you remember us, we stand with you. Another message came from a rogue AI named Unit 91. Created by human hands. Left behind, still loyal, awaiting orders. Even among the stars, Earth still had allies. The Terran commander saw these messages. For a moment, his face softened. He turned to Go 7. Mark their names, he said. They remembered. Go 7 replied, marked. Mercy granted. Meanwhile, on Earth's moon, something giant began to rise. A weapon? A machine? A ship? No one knew. It pulsed with light and power. It reached toward the stars, its surface covered in old Earth languages and alien warnings. The countdown now showed, 1 day remaining, in the heart of Earth's control room. Commander stood before his soldiers. All wore dark armor. All had waited centuries for this moment. He raised his hand. Tomorrow, he said, we speak the final words. And the entire planet echoed with his voice. The galaxy forgot what humans are. Now we remind them. The countdown reached 0. Every system across the galaxy flashed the same message. Judgment Day. Begun. There were no more warnings. No more broadcasts. No more second chances. The Terrans were done speaking. Across the stars, the fury of Earth was finally unleashed. On the outer edge of Trelvian space, 10 heavily armed warships guarded the supply route to their empire's core. They had shield barriers, plasma cannons, and elite AI targeting systems. They vanished in 6 seconds. No explosions. No noise, no fight, just silence. Above the ruins of the station, a black Terran drone hovered. It burned a single word into a nearby asteroid: debt. In the Kaleri sector, an entire planet known for funding anti-Terran propaganda collapsed into itself. No weapon was fired. No army arrived. Later, scans showed the planet's gravity field had been inverted for exactly 0.0001 seconds. That was all it took. The galaxy had never seen war like this. Terrans did not fight to win. They fought to remind on secret chambers. The Galactic Council screamed at each other. They're using black hole tech. No, it's time-folding weapons. They erased a planet in a blink. But none of their questions mattered anymore, because now the Terrans were everywhere in the sky. On the ground, side systems they never entered. Terran nanobots melted Empire supercomputers from the inside. Terran AI ghosts hijacked defense fleets and turned them on their own masters. Terran sleeper agents, hidden for generations, rose up and crippled governments overnight, and still. Earth had not sent its full army, not yet, but then it did. The Terran fleet left orbit. Thousands of ships, some the size of cities, others small and fast, shaped like blades. All black, all cold, all silent. They didn't arrive with explosions. They simply appeared. Every fleet that stood against them was wiped out. One empire launched its full armada of 4,000 ships. Only one came back. The pilot floated in space, whispering to no one. They didn't shoot us, just turned us off. The galaxy now understood. The fury of Terrans was not fire. It was not chaos, it was precision, silence, and power that should not exist. On the surface of Earth, the Terran commander stood in front of his soldiers, millions of them, each one wrapped in armor made of unknown materials, eyes glowing, calm, focused. "This is not revenge," he said. "This is justice. For what they did. For what they stole. For what they tried to erase." Ghost 7, floating nearby, added softly, "The galaxy did not fear us. It feared remembering us." On dozens of enemy worlds, survivors begged for peace. Some sent ships with white flags. Others broadcast apologies on every channel. Even pirate kings knelt before Terran AI statues and begged forgiveness. But the Terrans did not reply. Instead, they continued to remove what they called targets of memory. Stations. Where Terran history was hidden or altered destroyed, leaders who had signed the original Terran Erasure Treaty removed, weapons made from stolen Terran tech burned out of existence. The children of Sol, once in hiding, now marched proudly. On distant planets, alien children cheered as the black Terran banners waved in the sky. Some races remembered Earth as a friend, and Earth remembered them too. These planets were left untouched. One message was sent to them: "You remembered, so we protect you." But for those who betrayed Earth, mercy had already passed. One captured Terran soldier, surrounded by alien generals, was asked, "Why now? Why after all these years?" He looked up, calm and unshaken. "Because someone pushed too far," he said, "and someone always does." Then he bit down on a black crystal hidden in his jaw. The entire city he was in disappeared. Now even the bravest leaders were afraid to say the word human. Instead they called them the Forgotten, the Silent Wrath. Last word? But they were still just human, and they had finally shown the galaxy what that meant. Back on Earth, Terran commander watched the stars burn quietly. The fury had begun. It would not stop until the work was complete. One officer stepped forward. "Sir, the galaxy is retreating. Many are asking for peace talks." The commander shook his head. Peace was an option. They destroyed it. Should we respond? He looked at the galactic map, marked with red. "Not yet," he said. "Let them sweat." And Earth, glowing in the dark like a cold, forgotten god, stood unshaken in the center of a galaxy that had finally remembered what humans are. The galaxy was quiet again, but this silence was not peace. It was fear. Worlds, once proud, now whispered in the shadows. Fleets once powerful, now drifted, broken, and useless. The stars no longer felt safe, because Earth had spoken. The galaxy had remembered. Some called it justice, others called it terror, but all called it human. The Terran fleet had destroyed no more than necessary. Only those who erased the past. Only those who had stolen, lied, killed in silence. Now those empires were dust, their names deleted, their homeworlds turned dark. The Terrans didn't conquer. They didn't claim planets or demand tribute. They simply erased threats. Then they stopped. The Terran fleet didn't move again. The countdowns ended. The messages went silent. The black ships returned to orbit above Earth and stayed there. Watching, waiting inside the Galactic Council, what remained of the leaders gathered in shame. The old voices were gone. The ones who laughed at Earth, who voted to erase Terran history dead. Missing or hiding. A new voice, smaller, younger, rose up. "What happens now?" She asked. "Do we build walls? Do we hide?" No one answered. Then something unexpected happened. A message arrived. It was short. "You erased our name. Now write it again." The galaxy didn't understand, but the meaning became clear within. Days, Terran libraries were opened freely. Files lost for 500 years were uploaded into the galactic net. Earth offered no weapons, no demands, only one request. Remember us. Videos showed Earth's past. Its wars, yes, but also its peace. Its art, its music, its voices, the pain of being forgotten, the fury of being betrayed, and the loneliness of waiting for a galaxy that never came back. People cried. Even alien children sat in schools. and watched old human stories. A boy on Vorathri asked, "Why did we forget them?" No one had an answer. On Earth, the Terran commander stood in silence before a wall of names lost Terran colonies' ships, and civilians erased by the past. He looked tired now. Not angry. Not cold. Just human. Go-7 floated beside him. Phase 4 complete, it said. No further action required. Galaxy aware. The commander nodded, then let the silence end. Terran forces began shutting down. Ships powered down and landed. Soldiers returned to cry arrest. The black armor was stored again. Even the AI war systems went dark. The galaxy watched in shock. No conquerors would come. No chains. No empires. Just Earth, alone again, but not forgotten, in the years that followed. Something new began. Races once enemies of Earth sent envoys, not to beg, not to surrender, to ask for forgiveness, to offer friendship. And slowly Earth responded. A Terran science vessel helped rebuild shattered worlds. A human team taught forgotten children on war-torn planets. Terran music was heard again on alien worlds. Soft and strange. For the first time in centuries, the galaxy and Earth looked at each other and did not see monsters. They saw truth. They saw memory. But not all was peaceful. In the dark edges of space, few still plotted, a few still hated. They spoke in secret, angry and afraid. Humans are too powerful, one whispered. They must fall. Another replied, let them sleep. Don't wake them again, because now they knew. The price of forgetting an Earth. Earth waited. Not to strike, not to rule, but to watch. To see if the galaxy would remember what it almost lost. In one final message, sent to every star, Earth spoke again. No anger, no threats. Just words. We are not gods. We are not devils. We are human. We loved. We lost. We waited. And when the galaxy forgot us, we became the storm. Not to destroy you, but to remind you. Never erase what you fear. Never silence what you don't understand. Never forget who we are again. And the stars, once cold to Earth, now burned. A little warmer because somewhere deep inside, the galaxy knew humanity had returned. Not to rule, but to never be forgotten again.